Good morning, evening, or night, AXOLOTS. For legal reasons, I don't know where you are. So some of you may know this already. I studied in Vietnam for a good 3 years before moving back to Malaysia in December 2021. It's been half a year since I've stepped foot into the grand land of banh mi and incredible motorcycle skills, and I was missing it quite a bit. Coincidentally, however, my brother came back to Malaysia in May for his university holidays, and when I heard he was visiting Vietnam for a week, I politely and formally asked him to bring me there as well. After he very willingly agreed, we set off. The flight is at like 10ish, and we have to leave our house by 8, meaning I have to wake up at 7. And now I'm actually considering, hear me out, not sleeping. Not sleeping. It's 10 p.m. right now. You know how you feel less tired if you just don't sleep at all versus then if you sleep only 1 hour? My idea is that in order to make sure I don't wake up late, I'm just gonna stay up until we get on that plane. And I think that is a good idea. That was a horrible idea. The airport fit was simple. I am cold and tired, but I wanted to look cute last minute, so here's a pink sunray cardigan. After that, I played around with my magnetic earphones like an adult would for 10 minutes. Look at it. It sticks together. Technology! While waiting for my brother to finish up. Oh yeah, the most important thing to bring to Vietnam. A book about Japanese. And a giant pack of candy. Now, since we live in a hashtag society, imagine my dismay when I found out that YouTube had disabled its download function and put it all behind the paid feature. I rely on YouTube for my music. I don't have Spotify or SoundCloud because 1, I am a boomer and I can't figure out basic app functions. But also 2, I spend money only on unnecessary things, not things I actually need. Therefore, I had the genius idea of individually screen recording every music I had in my playlist instead, so I can play it at any time without the use of data. Brilliant. Oh, what's that? I've wasted like 50% of my storage? Who cares? Here's Francis Forever by Mitski. This is my first time traveling without my parents, and not gonna lie, it was a pretty daunting experience. I mostly just followed my brother around to learn the ropes of solo traveling. The first thing we had to do was go to the kiosks to self-print our check-in tags and boarding passes. But I shit you not, out of 10 kiosks, there was only 1 that functioned. 1! And it's not like the other 9 had signs saying they were broken too. They just simply refused to scan your thing. So it was essentially a game of Among Us where we had to find the 1 working kiosk. Eventually though, we figured it out, and oh my god, why is the ink so bad? We then left to board, where I said goodbye to my parents and headed off to my new life of independence. And by independence, I mean still following my brother around and doing what he tells me to do, while also checking my passport every 20 seconds because I was convinced the invisible boogeyman would steal it. Before the trip, our dad was busy working out a way to get us these fancy cards to the lounge rooms airports had. It was an entire ordeal, and we went through it just so we could experience the crazy rich Asian life. And after all those calls, bank meetings, hours of settlement, we finally got there. And it was closed. I don't have a video of my reaction, but the shutter camera was on, so here's a live footage of me hearing that it had closed for the day. This one's my favorite.
We wanted to flex our money, but
Yeah.
we couldn't even have the opportunity to flex our money.
No, they shut us down. This teaches you to be modest, generous.
We wanted to be crazy rich Asians for at least 5 minutes. Is that too much to ask?
Oh, crazy rich Asian. Noise cancelling headphones.
I bought this 2 weeks before the new ones were launched. That's why they were so cheap.
Crazy rich.
Oh, airport Wi-Fi because I don't have enough data.
Wow. 3 dumplings. Crazy rich. 多少钱?
I tried telling my mom how expensive the dumplings were as a light-hearted conversation opener, and this was the response I got. Anyways, while waiting for the train to arrive, the airplane to arrive, I decided to do some sketching, looking cool because I wanted the Your Name airport crush moment to happen to me. I also decided it was time to be a mature adult and really focus on completing important business projects on my iPad. Right before boarding, I went to the bathroom to take a little pee before realizing I caught the case of YouTube syndrome derogatory because why am I filming myself pissing? You know what else is a YouTube syndrome? This conveniently placed ad sponsorship. Folks and fellas, it appears we meet again, and I know exactly what questions are going through your head. How can I have more Netflix show options? How do I have a more secure web experience? How does File look so good in that blazer? Well, you need not fret more because all these questions can be solved with the help of NordVPN, our sponsor for today's video. Yes, even the blazer one. With NordVPN, you're able to unlock a new corner of Netflix shows that weren't available in your country. For example, I've been using NordVPN for the past year to watch shows such as Chicago Med and the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Besides that, NordVPN can help you sleep better at night with a nifty little tool, and I don't mean melatonin. With a casual waft of the hand, NordVPN helps secure your browsing and stops unwanted data collection, ensuring that companies are unable to track your moves. Long story short, whatever you're searching up on AO3 will scar one less person. Choose kindness today. Choose NordVPN. With all that being said, if this piques your interest, butters your egg rolls, and ices your soda, click the link in the description below to use my code FALINESWAG for an exclusive deal. I decided to name my code that when I was 17 and there's no going back now. And now let's go on to the video. Soon after, it was time to board the plane, and I actually ended up meeting one of my friends from Vietnam there. They were in Malaysia for vacation and was leaving on the same flight as me back to Vietnam, which was a pretty cool coincidence. We spent our time together bonding by airdropping important videos to everyone who had an iPhone.
I'm helping you on Tinder. Let's see if this is a man of commitment.
There we go. That's the big boy train. Train? Airplane! Maybe I need to train my reading comprehension skills. Through some negotiation with my brother, and by negotiation I mean non-stop whining and younger sibling rights, I was able to get the window seat. And I know what you're thinking. Window seat. That must mean I have an amazing view! Last time, each of my window views were off the plane wing, but this time things are changed. This time, there is no window. No window. I am seated at a position that is in between windows. I have no window. But hey, I could always just glance at the window in front of me, right? Oh my god, it's a plane wing. The flight was not too bad if you ignore the fact that 40% of the people on board were below the age of 13. There were 2 little kids seated behind me, so the whole flight was basically my seat turned into a massage chair, minus the relaxation and with an added 80% of stress increase. Also, I just have to say, I don't know if I was hallucinating from the lack of sleep or the children screaming and kicking my chair JoJo style, but I swear to you, and no one believed me when I told them, but I swear to you, someone started pissing on the flight. I smelled the distinct smell of piss. Someone started pissing and I don't know who, but it was definitely piss. Maybe a baby went number 1 in its diaper, but it threw me off so hard that I had a whiplash from the realization. The flight was 2 hours long, which was plenty time to be productive. I started off by sketching a new drawing, then I thought, no, let me finish another drawing actually. Then I realized I could also be editing my new video. And with all these choices, I finally decided on taking a nap instead, because I could not choose. Unfortunately, I couldn't sleep for long due to the melodic screams of children on board and the smell of piss, which definitely happened. I'm not crazy. At around 3 p.m., we finally arrived with the smoothest landing I had ever experienced. I had my camera out prepared for the life-threatening nuclear bomb landings that usually happened on AirAsia. But this one was as smooth as butter. It was such a polite landing. This landing says please and thank you.
Oh wow, that wasn't bad.
This landing would not kill a spider. It would put it in a nice little jar and bring it outside. After we sorted out the passport things, I was picked up by one of my friends from my old school here. They kindly agreed to let me stay with them for the week, and so I was living rent-free like a raccoon inside their walls.
Look at all those trucks. Oh my god, look at the car. We don't see those in Malaysia. There's no cars in Malaysia. Everyone just runs really fast. No, I remember my old biology teacher just called me Celine for the entire year. And then she looked to the only other Asian girl with short hair and she was like, Faline. you are Faline.
Since they were from the UK, when they asked me what I like to eat, I asked for authentic British cuisine. Beans.
Whoa.
Bowl for
And
beans.
bowl
You want
for
nothing
beans.
with bowl for beans. And you want nothing with it.
Nothing, no. Can I have a single bean?
But you just want a single bean.
Yeah, put it up the middle. Fine dining. No, waiter. That's 2 beans.
You should have a Cornell bean juice.
Whoa.
Do like a swoop. Do you want a tiny knife and fork?
Yes.
Fine dining.
A tiny knife and fork for my beans. Singular. Delicious. And I have the bill.
With that being said, I spent the rest of the week having fun and reconnecting again, which was thrill. I did take some videos during my stay here, such as revisiting my old high school, so look forward to that. With that being said, thank you for watching this video. Kiss kiss mwah mwah. Bye bye.